Hello, welcome viewers. This is Mr. Autotune. Today I'm programming a 2019 Nissan Sentra. This vehicle had a transmission that was changed because of a CVT failure, and the mechanic shop called me to come and configure and program the transmission to the vehicle. So we start our console tray plus. We check for the systems in the vehicle. We already have our battery maintainer hooked up, which is giving us the 13.4 volt, and we also using the Console 3 Plus interface for this particular programming. At the time of editing this video, I have a little boy who is screaming in the background in the house here, so you just have to bear with me. So when we look at the DTCs, these are the current things that are on the vehicle right now. So we click on the erase to clear the codes. That has been successful. Well, when it ran, these are the code that came up, and that includes a BCM code with also the radar codes. We then go to the transmission system, click on the transmission, and when we do that, it comes out without any code for the transmission. So next thing we do is we go to check on the ECU identification. We will need this part number to order the configuration file from the Nissan website. We can also take a look at the calibration data, and we see that is 00 around, so that means these calibration data were cleared and the ECU was able to pick the new calibration from the valve body of the replaced transmission. Now we can go ahead and open the browser to buy the calibration file from the Nissan Tech Info website. We search the part number first with the first 5 numbers, then we do for the last 5 digits, and that is 9 alpha elephant and 2 C. So when we submit, this is the new part. We should end with 9 alpha echo 9 cut, and that will be our new file. So we'll proceed to make the pictures. Once the purchase is complete, we go to the download page and download our calibration file. We then go to our download folder to extract the file. At least on the website, it has a guide as to what to do to access or unpack the calibration folder for you to be able to reprogram the computer model in the vehicle. We can now go ahead with the extraction. The README in this folder shows you where you can put the calibration file so that when you're running the programming, it will be able to detect and upload the file for the programming. So this requires the calibration file to be in the reprogramming folder in the C file. So we have these old ones that are already in there. What we're going to do is we'll move them out and only leave the calibration file that is needed for programming the vehicle. So we are moving it to this folder that we've named it as Nissan Old, and once we're done, then we'll put in the new calibration file in the reprogramming folder. So we now have an empty folder, and we bring in the new file that we want to use. So we'll copy those two and paste it in this folder. Now we can proceed with the reprogramming. So we click on home. Yes. Then proceed to reprogramming configuration. We select, at least we make sure that we understand whatever that is in that precautionary message. Then we'll click on next. So this brings the vehicle information. We confirm it. Then we go to transmission. Then programming.
With the car turned on, we press on the brake fully, then press on the accelerator, pass half, way down, and we put the gear in reverse. Now, once we're done with that, we then click on start. So with our foot still on the brake and pedal, we turn the vehicle off, wait for about 10 seconds, then turn it back on, wait for another 10 seconds, then turn it off, Wait for 10 seconds, and the final process, turn it back on. So this has erased the data, and then we can now put the shifter back to the path position. So we then click on next, and it's asking us to move the shifter from path to drive and path to reverse, then neutral, drive, and then path, just to observe the cluster panel that these are changing. So once that is true, we then click on save. Then we go into the next stage. So we make sure that we read the information and understand before we move to the next step. So this requires the AC turned off, no lights, or anything that will be drawing the current, the voltage on the vehicle. So once we're done with that, we click on the next, and just go through these, and it goes to check and see if the vehicle actually meets every requirement for the programming. Then we click on start. Now we've come to the user authentication page, and this is required for most of these versions, especially the 226 and up. We need to put in our username and then password. Well, this is where the problem is, because the version that I'm using right now is out of date. So let's see if this will let us go through. Unfortunately, this is the error that we coming out with, and we cannot proceed. So we have to look for an alternative means to program the vehicle. So I have to let go with this console tray and then use the NERS from Nissan. And this required using the net, that's the 3.08 with CADAC plus 3 interface. So luckily I have this on the side, and that is what I'm going to use to go about with the remaining reprogramming of the transmission on the vehicle. So once we are in, we go to look for the part number, which we remember it to be 3103698A2C. And after selecting it, it takes us to this. We confirm and then start. And so far, there hasn't been any issue yet. And I had to speed the entire process, which took more than I believe about 10 minutes. But at this stage, it wants us to turn the vehicle off. And once we're done with that, and we have to turn it back in about 1 to 20 minutes. That is within that time frame. So when we did that, everything now shows that the vehicle programming is complete, and we have the new part number down there, and then the previous part number is also showing up there. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope this video has been helpful, especially if you're trying to program Nissan and you encounter this kind of problem. You could use NERS to be able to succeed. And if you also need the services, at least you can contact us at Resolve the Tune. We are ready and willing to be able to help you get your vehicle back on the road. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.